Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Saturday. Big college football slate today, guys. So be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. Go ahead, turn on those notification bells. And yeah, we'll hop in it here. Big slate today. A lot of good action on the board. Starting with Air Force versus Navy. Air Force finally getting into the top 25 here. Having a good season. They're opening up as a 10-point road favorite with the over-under at 33.5. Air Force coming into this matchup 6-0. Navy 3-3. Head-to-head, Air Force is 6-4. 6-4 covering the spread. Air Force, coming off a big Wyoming win. Look, we know what the deal is with the Air Force, Navy, Army. They're just running teams here, and so that's the big thing there. But this is a very high-scoring Air Force team, putting up 34, 49, 45, 39. They put up some big numbers here. And Navy, a pretty mid-tier, on a 2-game winning streak, but they're coming off a 14-0 win against Charlotte. They have no passing game. The highest they've scored is 30 points this season. And really like an Air Force. Navy has quarterback concerns in this matchup. And I'm like an Air Force here. 5-2 covering against Navy. 8-2 covering on the road here. First time being ranked in a while here. 6-0 season. And they can put up points. I'll buy half a point, but I'm going to take Air Force minus 9.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, got the biggest matchup of the day here. We got Penn State versus Ohio State. Ohio State opening up as a 4.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 45.5. Both teams coming into this matchup 6-0. Head-to-head, Ohio State's 9-1. The over is just 3-7 in the last 10 meetings. Penn State coming off a 63-0 win against UMass. They've actually had 2 shutouts so far this season. Ohio State coming off a big Purdue win, 41-7 here. Going to be a big battle for Penn State. Can they win on the road and beat Ohio State? They're 0-6 against Ohio State, 0-5 on the road against Ohio State. They have not been able to win on the road at Ohio State in a long time here. This is their first real test. Haven't really played a team like this on both sides, a defense that's this good and offense. They played Iowa, who has a good defense, but just no offense. That's why they shut them out. This is a huge test for Penn State here, and man, I just don't think they're ready for it. Ohio State just too talented on both sides. They're 16-1 at home. I'm gonna roll with Ohio State minus 4.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got UCF versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma opening up as a 17-point home favorite with the over-under at 68. UCF coming into this matchup 3-3. Oklahoma 6-0. These teams have never played each other before here. UCF on a 3-game losing streak. It's been a rough 3-game stretch for UCF since moving into this conference. Coming off a 51-22 loss against Kansas. Losing to Baylor, Kansas State, Oklahoma. Coming off their signature win, beating Texas 34-30. They are actually coming off a bye week after the Texas game, so they're definitely well rested after the Texas game. If they were coming off that Texas game immediately, I'd be a little concerned here. A lot of teams coming off a big win, but they've had the bye week, so I'm not even worried about that anymore. And Oklahoma, 18-2 at home. They've just been dominant. 7-0 covering the spread. That's pretty important here. They've been able to cover the spread. And UCF's just been a mess. They have not looked good. And going to roll with Oklahoma minus 17 and money line at home. Next matchup, we've got one of the top 2 lowest totals of the day in this game, so keep that in mind. We got Minnesota versus Iowa. Iowa opening up as a 3.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 30.5. Minnesota coming into this matchup 3-3. Iowa 6-1. Head-to-head, Iowa's 9-1. 8-2 covering the spread. Minnesota coming off a 52-10 loss against Michigan. Iowa on a 3-game winning streak. It's been very sloppy for Iowa, but hey, I mean, they're getting wins. On a 3-game winning streak, beating Wisconsin 15-6. Last year when these guys met, Iowa won 13-10. Looking like it could be a similar kind of game here with that low over-under. So do what you want with that. Could be a fun. Personally, I love teasing this game. Throw it in a 13-point teaser. You can get the. Anytime I see a game like this, I throw it in a teaser. You can get this game at over 17 or over 18, which is unbelievable. You just need 3 scores and you're good. Minnesota 0-7 covering against Iowa. 0-10 on the road against Iowa. Gonna have to take Iowa here. Not because of offense. I just think the defense will be good enough for them to get some stops. And I'll take Iowa by a point. I'm going to take that -2.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got North Texas versus Tulane. Tulane opening up as a 20.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 63. North Texas coming into this matchup 3-3. Tulane 5-1. Head-to-head, these teams have played each other once. Tulane winning that matchup 24-21. North Texas coming off a Temple win 45-14. Tulane coming off a big Memphis win 31-21. They're on a 4-game winning streak, playing pretty well. North Texas 0-5 against the West Division here. Tulane 9-1 in their last 10. They're 5-0 covering the spread in October. Been a very good month for Tulane here. I don't know. I'm looking at this spread here. North Texas, they put up some points here. Despite their loss from Navy, they're averaging over, maybe not averaging, but they've put up 40-plus points in 3 games, 3 out of their 6 games. Tulane has not put up 40 at all this season here. I think I'm going to buy a point here. I think I'm going to take North Texas plus 21.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got South Carolina versus Missouri. Missouri opening up as a 7.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 57.5. South Carolina coming into this matchup 2-4. Missouri 6-1. Head-to-head, Missouri 6-4. 6-4 covering the spread. The over's hit in 2 out of the last 10 games. South Carolina, back-to-back losses, coming off back-to-back 41-point games. Really giving up 41 points to Florida and Tennessee. Missouri, big Kentucky win. Hey, this Missouri team is for real. The best I'd say Missouri's ever been here, especially in the SEC. They've been pretty dominant, and they've looked very good. South Carolina missing some players. And yeah, South Carolina, they just haven't played good. 1-4 covering against Missouri. 1-4 straight up against Missouri, coming off 2 just tough losses against Florida and Tennessee here. Missouri playing great at home. Gonna buy a point. I'm gonna take Missouri -6.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, another big one. We got Tennessee and Bama. Bama opening up as a 9-point home favorite with the over-under at 47.5. Tennessee coming into this matchup 5-1. Bama 6-1. Head-to-head, Bama's 9-1. 6-4 covering the spread. The overs hit in 7 out of the last 10 meetings. Tennessee on a 3-game winning streak, coming off a big A&M win. Bama coming off a close Arkansas win here, but they're on a 5-game winning streak. Ever since losing to Texas, they found their rhythm, and they've been playing great football. Tennessee 1-15 against Bama, 0-9 on the road against Bama. They have not been able to beat Bama. I just don't think it's going to happen this year. I just don't think they got the team to do it. Give me Bama -9 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Washington State versus Oregon. Oregon opening up as a 20-point home favorite with the over-under at 60. Washington State coming into this matchup 4-2. Oregon 5-1. Head-to-head, Oregon 6-4. 2-8 covering the spread. The over's hit in 7 out of the last 10 matchups. And yeah, Washington State on a 2-game losing streak. They look like an absolute joke now, losing 44-6 against an unranked Arizona team. You know, they started the season out great. I mean, they beat Oregon State, beat Wisconsin. We're looking good. These last two games, you know, losing to UCLA, but that Arizona loss, it's tough because they got a good quarterback, Cam Warden, man, up against Oregon. Oregon coming off a tough Washington loss at home. I just don't see any shot Washington does anything in this game. They're going to really struggle. They struggled against Arizona. They're really going to struggle against Oregon here. Oregon 19-1 at home, which is going to be tough for Washington State. Yeah, give me Oregon -20 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Texas versus Houston. Texas opening up as a 23.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 60.5. Texas coming into this matchup 5-1. Houston 3-3. Head-to-head, Texas is 4-0. They've only played 4 times. Texas coming off, you know, a tough Oklahoma loss, 34-30. Houston coming off a 2-point West Virginia win. Going to be tough for Houston here. You're getting a Texas team coming off a loss, and actually they're coming off a bye week, so they've had time to rest. Yeah, offense and defense is just going to be too good to a Houston team that's just been pretty mid this year, and yeah, I like Texas in a big win this week, and give me Texas -23.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Virginia versus UNC. North Carolina opening up as a 23.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 58. Virginia coming into this matchup 1-5. UNC 6-0. Head-to-head, UNC is 6-4. 4-6 covering the spread. The over is hit in 5 out of the last 10 meetings. Virginia coming off a William and Mary win. Their only win of the season so far was a game that they're supposed to win. UNC coming off a big 10-point Miami win. And what a start for UNC. Playing great football right now. And this Virginia offense has just been very bad. You know, they've been scoring about 20-ish points a game here. UNC, they put up 40 plus the last 3. 40 plus in 4 out of the last 5. Yeah, I just don't trust Virginia here. UNC 4-1 at home against Virginia. Give me UNC -23.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Ole Miss versus Auburn. Ole Miss opening up as a 6.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 55.5. Ole Miss coming into this matchup 5-1. Auburn 3-3. Head-to-head, Auburn's 8-2, 7-1-2 covering the spread. The over's hit in 4 out of the last 10 meetings. Ole Miss on a 2-game winning streak, coming off an Arkansas win. Auburn on a 3-game losing streak. I mean, their schedule is tough. I mean, they're coming off an A&M, Georgia, and LSU loss. I mean, that's about as worse as it gets in football. Ole Miss, you know, they're 1-6 against Auburn. 1-7 on the road against Auburn here, but this is just a much different Ole Miss team and a much different Auburn team. Auburn not as good as they've usually been. I'm going to take Ole Miss -6.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Army versus LSU. LSU opening up as a 32.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 60. Army coming into this matchup 2-4. LSU 5-2. These teams have never played each other. You got Army coming off a 19-0 loss against Troy. Pretty bad loss for Army. They're on a 3-game losing streak. And then LSU on a 2-game winning streak. 3 straight games. They've put up 48, 49, 49 in their last 3. It's going to be tough for an Army game that couldn't score against Troy. It's going to be very tough to... It's a lot of points here, but... Man, LSU is going to be able to score and do what they want with Army. So it's going to be hard to back them. Yeah, give me LSU -32.5 at home. Next matchup, we got Duke versus FSU. FSU opening up as a 14-point home favorite with the over-under at 49. Duke coming into this matchup 5-1. FSU 6-0. Head-to-head, FSU's 10-0, 8-2 covering the spread. They've been very dominant against Duke. The big question for this game is Riley Leonard playing, the quarterback for Duke. He was out last game, and they did okay, but they did not pass well. Duke coming off a 24-3 win. Defense looked great last game. Beat NC State 24-3. They didn't really complete passes. They really ran the ball and played D. They're not going to be able to do that against FSU. They're going to have to be able to throw the ball against FSU. And FSU undefeated, coming off a big Syracuse win, 41-3. They've looked dominant as ever. This is a tough one here. It's going to be a defensive game. Duke 0-8 on the road against FSU. They have not won in Florida State. And we'll have to see the quarterback. If Riley Leonard plays, man, I think this could be a very close matchup. You have to just check before game time. It is a 7:30 p.m. game, so luckily we have all day for that. If Riley Leonard plays, I'd buy a point or half a point. I'd take Duke plus 14.5. But if Riley Leonard's out, I just don't trust the quarterback for Duke, and we'll take FSU minus 13.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Michigan versus Michigan State. Michigan opening up as a 24.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 46. Michigan coming into this matchup 7-0. Michigan State 2-4. Head-to-head, Michigan State is 6-4. 7-2-1 covering the spread. Michigan, undefeated season, playing great. Back-to-back 52-point games, coming off a big Indiana win. Michigan State on a 4-game losing streak. Not a very good Michigan State team. And now, up against Michigan here. Michigan, they've struggled against Michigan State. 1-6 covering against Michigan State. But they are 19-0 against the Big Ten, where they've been dominant. Been dominant this season. Defense is great. And the Michigan State offense just hasn't looked good. 24-16, 9-7. Michigan, they put up 31-50 in their last 4 games, respectively. Yeah, I'm going to take Michigan minus 24.5. Throw them in your money line parlays on the road. Next matchup, we got Utah versus USC. USC opening up as a 7-point home favorite with the over-under at 52. Utah coming into this matchup 5-1. USC 6-1. Head-to-head, Utah 6-4. 6-4 covering the spread. The overs hitting 7 out of the last 10 matchups. Utah coming off a big Cal win. USC coming off a bad Notre Dame loss, 48-20. This is definitely a big game for USC here. If they drop 2, I think their season is pretty much done. If they drop this one to Utah here, they are 11-0 at home, 5-1 at home against Utah. I really like USC coming off the bad loss against Notre Dame, where Caleb Williams just looked horrible. I think this is a big time game for USC, and I think they get it done at home. Give me USC. I'm gonna buy a point. Or I'm gonna buy half a point. Give me USC minus 6.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Arizona State versus Washington. Washington opening up as a 26.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 60. Arizona State coming into this matchup 1-5. Washington 6-0. Head-to-head, Arizona State is 8-2, 9-1 covering the spread. They've been very dominant against Washington, but this is a much different Washington team, probably the best Washington team we've ever seen. Arizona State on a 5-game losing streak. It's been very bad for Arizona State. Coming off 2 3-point games, they've had some close games that could have won here, but this is a whole different team. They have not played anyone. They lost to USC by 14, but Washington definitely looking better than USC here. Despite the numbers here, love Washington at home, 11-0 at home. Should definitely build off their big win last week against Oregon, and I'm going to take Washington minus 26.5. Throw them in your money line parlays on the road. Then the last matchup, we got UCLA versus Stanford. UCLA opening up as a 17-point road favorite with the over-under at 52. UCLA coming into this matchup 4-2. Stanford 2-4. Head-to-head, Stanford is 7-3. 6-3-1 covering the spread. UCLA coming off a Oregon State loss. Both the losses have been, Oregon State and Utah. So this is definitely a winnable game. And then you got Stanford coming off that insane Colorado comeback win. Big win for Stanford. A much different team. UCLA, much different team than Colorado here. Stanford 0-5 at home. Yeah, I think this is a good bounce back game for UCLA. And I'm going to take UCLA minus 17. Throw them in your money line parlays on the road. And that's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Saturday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Sunday. Have a good one.